Hello everyone, another very windy day today, so I thought I'd actually put the Mavic 2 up into the air to see how it handles very strong wind. I made a couple of films a few months ago flying the Mavic Air and the original Mavic Pro in very strong winds because they actually handle the wind very, very differently. So the Mavic Pro has the collision avoidance sensors enabled by default, and what it does, it actually limits the pitch so that those sensors remain working. But in limiting its pitch, it means that it can't fly very fast in strong wind. So the pitch is obviously how steep it's actually flying into the wind. Mavic Air, on the other hand, disables the sensors, which is why when you're flying a Mavic Air, you can see it flying at a very, very steep pitch. And it does that in order to maintain a high speed when it's flying into the wind. So using the default settings, the Mavic Air moves much faster into the wind than the Mavic Pro does. But once you turn off the collision avoidance sensors in the Mavic Pro, it handles the wind fine. Well, this is a new beast, the Mavic 2 Pro, so I want to see how it handles flying out into the wind. As before, it's a very, very windy day, and it's another westerly wind. The wind's coming in from the west, which means I can fly to my usual oak tree. I'm flying out into the wind, and I will be flying back with the wind. So if anything goes wrong, it'll just land in the field and I can go and retrieve it. But hopefully it'll all go to plan. Get down. So as before, I'm just going to fly straight up to about 30 meters and fly straight towards that oak tree, which will be directly against the wind going, and we'll see how we get on. Yeah, I know. So that's a good message. Okay, that seems to explain everything. Horizontal distance 8 meters per second. Okay, now we'll try coming back straight into the wind. With the wind, it should fly like a rocket. Right, switch to sports mode. Okay, straight away it tells you that you've got a little temporary, and let's see how we go. Okay, much faster, over 10 meters a second. Okay, come home in sports mode. Okay, much faster, up to 19 meters per second, and we're going to hit 20 meters a second, so I think it actually limits the return speed. Okay, so that was actually quite an interesting flight. When you're not in sports mode, when you're in P mode, like the Mavic Air, it actually disables the collision avoidance sensors, which allows it to fly at a much steeper pitch. It has to be said, it doesn't fly as fast as the Mavic Air in against strong wind, but it still manages to achieve a pretty good speed, and certainly doesn't come to the grinding halt that the Mavic Pro did when it was in the default settings of having the collision avoidance sensors put on. When you put the Mavic 2 Pro into sports mode, that automatically disables the collision avoidance sensors, which means that it manages to keep a much faster pace. So hopefully that's useful to people who are wondering if it's a bit too windy to fly their Mavic 2 Pro. It's pretty robust, and it'll automatically disable the collision avoidance sensors and enable a very steep pitch in order to maintain the speed for you. But as ever, when you're flying in strong winds, the golden rule is always fly out into the wind and fly home with the wind, and that way you won't get caught out. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon. Until next time, have fun, happy flying.